What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pub Sports Radio Baseball Show. My name is Jose Bouquet, and of course, I am joined by the Alec Boehm to my Kyle Lewis of always. You know, I love using Alec Boehm as the example, just because of good old Joe. Shout out to Joe. But it's Andrew Santangelo. How are you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing very well, very well. Excited for this next time of free agency here. You know, Eagles still in first place, and just living life. Still sour about the Oklahoma State loss, but
Man, I've been really dreading this day for a week now. Actually, well, not really a week, since Saturday, since that loss, because I produce a show after hours called The Film Room, and the guy's a big UT fan. And we have at it a lot. And I owe him $20 for starters, and I'm not excited for it. I'm not excited for that show at all. It's a very frustrating game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
But we'll leave it there.
Well, I just got a text from him actually too, because I looked down on my phone. So that's fun. Yeah, he actually called me too right after the game, and I didn't answer. Of course, I didn't answer, so I can't wait. So and then there he is.
I'm going to take it that's him by his comment.
Yeah, there it is. So I can't wait. So that'll be fun. Can't wait for that. Andrew, we've got some awards to talk about today. We've got some, free agency maybe to touch on. It's going to be a weird, interesting show when it comes to free agency. We have a certain jersey hung up in the rafters that we will talk about here soon. It's going to be a good show. I can't wait for it, Andrew. But Andrew, we have some business to take care of first. We have some friends to shout out. Some friends at BuiltBars.com, Andrew. Have you heard of our friends at Built Bar, Andrew?
I've not.
Okay, well, Andrew, let me tell you something, Andrew.
Let's inform me.
Best protein bars out there, Andrews. They taste great. Plenty of protein out there if you're going to lift heavy things to build some muscle. And guess what, Andrew? If you use promo code PUBSPORTS, you get 20% off your first purchase, Andrew. 20% off, Andrew. 20. That is some good stuff right there. Whatever flavors you want, Andrew, they've got for you. So perhaps you just come on down and crunch on some Built Bars, some Built Bars. Some Built Bars. What are Crunch Bars? Are Crunch Bars those blue chocolate bars?
Right? Yeah, I actually got one right behind me.
Oh wow, there you go. So shout out to
that is a Crunch Bar.
There you go, Crunch Bar. Shout out to Built Bars. Go to their website, BuiltBars.com. Use promo code PubSports, 20% off your first purchase. So shout out to them. Andrew, let's talk about some award finalists. It's going to be a good award season. Shout out to the Gold Gloves being announced. We probably won't touch on them that much, I assume, Andrew. They happened. No one watched them, but they definitely happened.
I was going to say, everybody probably missed them because of, MLB's genius marketing strategy, because they don't want the attention. So, but, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to them. So we won't talk about them, but shout out to Sam Wise as well for his third baseman making Gold Gloves like he said. So, shout out to him. I can't argue.
And his right fielder before he comments, and his right fielder.
Oh, Joey Gallo winning a Gold Glove is just absolutely.
You can't forget about him.
Shocking. He couldn't hit home runs this year, but he decides to fuck around and win a Gold Glove. So shout out to him. Let's talk about these war finalists real quick, Andrew. AL Cy Young. I mean, that's the most open and shut thing we've had all year. It's Shane Bieber. It's been Shane Bieber all year. After his third start, we knew it was Shane Bieber. And I think it's kind of funny that they even just went ahead and announced these two other finalists. So shout out to Kenta Maeda and Hyunjin Ryu.
Well, yeah, you have to announce the finalists, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It's going to be nobody else but Shane Bieber. Like, yes. If Bieber doesn't win this, there's something wrong.
Yeah, I think it's pretty open and shut. It's going to be pretty interesting. It's also funny that both Cy Young finalists in the NL or the AL both come from the Dodgers, and they both still win the Dodgers win a World Series anyways. So,
what do you think those players are feeling right now?
They're probably pretty happy about it. You can't complain. By the way,
still a little bitter though.
Andrew, I completely forgot. Andrew, by the way, I didn't even talking about Built Bars. I completely forgot about our friend here. We gotta play our friend here every episode now.
Fine.
Let's go through it again. Yeah, there's our friend. There he goes. There goes Andrew. All right.
It's been a while since I've had one of those moments. I need another one.
I mean, I really do know. Oh boy, I'm gonna get roasted. Anyways, in the chat today, apparently. So there's gonna be
Pick on Jose Day, I guess.
Yeah, it has been. It's fun. I mean, I deserve it. I deserve every bit of it. So shout out to them. Shane Bieber is going to win the AL Cy Young. NL Cy Young, a little more open discussion, but I think I think Trevor Bauer has this locked up pretty tight. Andrew, correct?
Yeah, it's funny because I remember we were thinking it was going to be Darvish, and then he kind of choked it away. I guess kind of had the bad final few games, and it allowed Bauer to continue his dominance, and he took over. And I think we saw before the only argument I think Darvish would have had was record 8 wins, but we saw 2 years ago when DeGrom I think hit 10, maybe not even 10. He still won it, so I think they show that they don't really count record there. They're kind of looking at that too much. So I think it's Bauer's to lose for sure.
Not after the Rick Porcello winning the Cy Young over Justin Verlander, have they cared about record for MLB for pitchers? So shout out to that. Shout out to Rick, Cy Young award winner with the Red Sox. Love him. I think Trevor Bauer has this pretty locked up, which will make his free agency even more fun. To be honest, let's talk MVPs, Andrew. These ones hurt a little bit for both of us. This one sting a little bit. AL MVPs or finalists: Jose Abreu, DJ Lemay Hugh, and Jose Ramirez. Any complaints there?
No, I think there were some names. Obviously, we always talk about Trout. My one complaint, but you mentioned it before with the DH thing. I don't know how Nelson Cruz had a phenomenal year. I was kind of disappointed to see him not included in that as a finalist. You could have put him up there for sure. But when it's all said and done, I think they got it right. I think that'd be the only one you can make an argument for. But Jose Abreu's hot stretch down the season really solidified him in that for that finalist. I think so. My choice here is going to be Abreu, though.
You know what, Andrew? I agree with you, actually.
Finally.
Abreu's probably going to win it, I think. DJ LeMahieu hitting 361, highest batting average in a season since Josh Hamilton. Don't really know, I guess, if it is as equal, but 361 is 361, so shout out to DJ. Jose Ramirez carried the Indians at the end of the stretch, but he had his moments of kind of stinking, and I think Jose Abreu was the White Sox backbone. So I'm going to go ahead and lock in Abreu, which is kind of weird. It's going to be weird saying that he won an MVP award, but whatever.
It's a weird year.
Yeah, exactly. NL MVP. Some guy named Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Manny Machado.
Hey, they left off a key guy here. It's a shame.
Yeah, go ahead, Andrew. Go off. I want to see you. Where you gonna go from here? There's guys missing apparently.
There's a guy missing. His name is Marcelo Zuna. I've been on here before, and I've said it before. He deserves MVP this year. Led the NL in home runs, led the NL in RBIs, was 3 in average, was up there in on base percentage as well. Sitting at 3rd in on base percentage. I don't know how you don't have him on here. I really don't. I think this is one of maybe the only ones that they didn't get right, you could say. And I know you're going to counter with somebody else. But I think, he deserved it for sure. I think it should have been. I think you could have put the 2 Braves on there. But in all honesty, I think Ozuna deserves it over Machado. If Machado was to win. And you could make the case for Ozuna over Freeman as well.
Okay, fair enough. I actually won't give you my Fernando Tatis.
Finally.
I mean, I'm on the bandwagon still. In my little world, he probably should have won it, but the end of his season was unfortunately too poor for him to deserve recognition in this. And Manny Machado is right there. I also like calling him Manny Machado instead of Machado. That makes
why? Just curious. Where's that come from?
Machado, the Red Sox radio announcer, Joe Castiglione, just refuses to call him Manny Machado.
That's hilarious.
His voice is like this. Manny Machado comes up to the plate, and it just that's what he does. So that's what I call him. I'm not a Manny Machado fan, dirty player, but he's up there. Congratulations to him. He's very good at what he does. I think this is pretty open and shut. Andrew, let's say our now award winner here, the NL MVP at the same time. On the count of 3. You ready? Okay, 3, 2,
I'm right.
1. Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, see, it's easy. It's Freddie Freeman, no doubt. I think he might even win unanimously, but
I don't know about that.
Mookie Betts might get some votes. Who knows? He's
If Mookie Betts wins, I think that shows that how they say they don't count postseason. If Betts wins, I think that kind of shows that they do count the postseason. Is that fair to say?
I would say. I mean, Freddie Freeman had a really good postseason too. So.
Well, I know, but Betts went longer. Betts wins the World Series, wins NLCS MVP, and
talk about Corey. Don't you dare take Corey Seager's MVP away from him. Don't you dare.
No, he won World Series MVP, but didn't Betts win NLCS?
No, my man Corey Seager won NLCS too. There you go.
Hold on.
Go look it up, man. Look it up.
I'm looking up.
Please do. Go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and move on to Manager of the Year.
It's Corey Seager.
Yeah, you're welcome. AL Manager of the Year, Kevin Cash, Charlie Montoya of the Blue Jays, and then Rick Renteria, the fired Rick Renteria. So shout out to him. Issuing one of the most awkward tweets of all time when they congratulating him on being a Manager of the Year finalist. Who's your winner here, Andrew? I think this is also pretty open and shut, to be honest.
I don't think it's as open as you think, or as shut as you think. I think it's kind of open. I think Rick Renteria has a real shot, and I think he should.
How fucking
what
would that be? Fired. Here's your Manager of the Year award.
That's what the Raptors did, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, well, Dwayne Casey, he stinks.
My point is, it's hard to judge sometimes because, Kevin Cash, he was expected to be there. I mean, we had him high up. A lot of analysts had him high up.
The Yankees hype was really high, Andrew. Lowest payroll. I mean, you can't really say he was expected to get there.
I'm not saying World Series, but the success we saw the last 2 years, a lot of people had them making the playoffs. I think the White Sox were a real good surprise, and Rick Renteria had that team playing over than what people thought they would. I mean, we had them as dark horses, but they were still up there. I think Kevin Cash is going to win in the end, but I think Rick Renteria deserves a lot of votes.
I'm going Kevin Cash, and I do not believe Rick Renteria deserves that many votes. Well, he can take second place, though.
Hater.
Hey, I guess so. NL Manager of the Year, David Ross, Don Mattingly, Jace Tingler. I think this one's the most open of the awards, to be honest. And Manager of the Year is one of the awards that I wish that they would take into the regular or into the postseason. I wish they would factor postseason performance. But I'm going to go with Don Mattingly.
I think it has to be Don Mattingly, honestly. I think Don Mattingly deserves it for the NL more than Kevin Cash deserves it for the AL. I think what Mattingly had to go through the season, dealing with all the COVID issues to start, and then, I think that one game, he was introduced to the starting pitcher 2 hours before the game. Just that's how down in the roster they had to go. And I think what he achieved was pretty phenomenal. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get too far in the postseason after that first round. But I think what he did was pretty sensational.
Hey, you got my vote too, Andrew. I agree with you there. Rookie of the Year, AL first. This is a two-man race. Kyle Lewis versus Luis Robert. Christian Javier, thanks for coming out. Appreciate you. Congrats.
And no love for him.
Nope. Kyle Lewis or Luis Robert? I'm going Kyle Lewis. Luis Roberts, the end of his season, unfortunately, eliminated him from this as well.
That's fair.
He won a Gold Glove. Shout out to him, so he doesn't walk away with nothing, but I'm going Kyle Lewis.
Okay, but do you think the Gold Glove could help push him over that edge even with the slow start or the bad end of the season?
No.
Okay. I agree with you. I think it's going to be Luis Robert, but I was just...
Okay. You said Luis Robert, but you meant Kyle Lewis, and I forgive you.
What?
You said Luis Robert. You think it was going to be Luis Robert, but I think you meant to say you think it's going to be Kyle Lewis winning Rookie of the Year, correct?
No, I'm going Luis Robert.
Well, okay. So why do you think it's going to be Luis Robert? I said it was Kyle Lewis.
Oh, okay. My bad. I'm going Luis Robert.
Okay.
The Gold Glove winner, right? Correct?
Yeah, the goal. You think he's going to win Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
he's got, again, Gold Glove, so it shows he's better defender, better all-around player. Sure. He's got more home runs.
Okay.
He's got more stolen bases, more doubles, 7 less hits in less games. All he really doesn't win is average on base percentage, which kind of goes hand in hand. But a better player and better success season, Luis Robert. And he helped carry his team to the playoffs.
Okay. So when
Not carry, but help this team get to the playoffs.
When Kyle Lewis wins this award, what do you want to give me?
What do you want to do?
I'll bet you $1.
Okay.
Okay.
Deal.
Yeah. Good. Great.
But
I don't think it'll be really. I think it'll be closer than obviously Javier, but I think Kyle Lewis will win it pretty handily.
it's got to be close. I mean, why does Lewis deserve it so much more? I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
It's
play a full season. Play a full season and be good.
He played 2 less games.
Just be good throughout the whole season. You was not good at the end of the year. But let's move on to NL, Andrew, because this is where I think we'll start fighting here. NL Rookie of the Year. Devin Williams, who is just so underrated right now, apparently. Just disrespect to the 11. Jake Cronenworth. And can you help me out with this last one, Andrew? Is it Aaron? What is his?
Aaron.
How can you help me out there?
It is Alec Boehm.
Oh, okay.
Learn the name and never forget it.
Who is this at? Could you make your case? Because I know he's your pick, obviously. But make your case, please.
My case? 10 less games than Jake. And Alex still has more hits, the same amount of home runs, more RBIs, 338 average compared to 285, 400 on base percentage compared to 354, the same exact OPS, and a better slugging percentage.
Okay.
Where's the argument?
Cool. Awesome. I think it's going to be Devin Williams. I think it should be Devin Williams, actually. I should amend that. I think it should be Devin Williams. I think you're a little surprised that I've said this because I've been.
I'm very surprised you said it because you were all about Jake for the longest time.
I think Jake is going to win it. I just want to let you know now. I think Jake Cronenworth is going to win this award, and that's not me saying it because I think Devin Williams should win it, but I think he is.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm with you. It's because of his kind of success to start the year, kind of helped him over the other two. I feel like.
Okay. Devin Williams, Andrew. How many earned runs do you think Devin Williams surrendered this year, Andrew?
You can go with 9.
He surrendered 1 earned run the whole year, Andrew. 1. Let me tell you, Andrew, that is phenomenal. A .33 ERA, 27 innings pitched. And let me tell you, Andrew, is 53 strikeouts in 27 innings pitched good?
Yeah, it's good. It's your favorite question.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right, Andrew. 22 games, like I said, 27 innings pitched. Those strikeout numbers are phenomenal. 1.4 WAR as a rookie. It's pretty good. Let me see, Andrew. Do you want to guess how many hits my man Devin Williams surrendered this year?
1 run. I'll go 10 hits.
8 hits this whole year. That is ridiculous. He gave up his earned run, by the way, in his second outing of the year. So after that second outing, it was just nothing for them. Absolutely nothing. 57 strikeouts, 27 innings. I think it should be Devin Williams.
We'll see. I don't know if he played enough games.
He played a third of the games.
Well, I'm underqualified rookies and he didn't even show up. So that's on MLB.com. That's why I'm kind of surprised he's a finalist. So I wonder how much that's going to impact it.
Well,
because
I mean, he's on the finalist. I'm picking him. Fuck you, MLB, for saying he's not qualified. First of all, he's qualified, I guess.
Their number, I don't know what to see with their qualification. To qualify, a player must have a half an inning pitch per team game. So it played 62 games.
Just three. No, get out of here, dog. No, he's in the finalists. He's qualified. Sorry, MLB. Your rules, not mine.
This is on MLB.com, which is the funny part. That's
hilarious.
But I'm kind of surprised they left off because I don't know. Because reading that when I saw the qualification stuff, I was kind of surprised they left off Ian Anderson.
That's a good one. That's another good shout. Is he gonna be qualified for as a rookie next year too?
Ian Anderson? I don't think so. If he's underqualified rookies this year, I'd say the other guy would be more likely to be still a rookie, Devin Williams, because he's not qualified. So technically, it doesn't qualify as a season for him. His rookie season.
Rosarena is still a rookie, by the way, next year. That's going to be hilarious. That'll be.
Who's that? Sorry.
Rosarena is okay. Qualified as a rookie next year, so that's going to be hilarious too. I'm going Devin Williams. You're going to go Bohm. It's probably going to be Cronenworth. I think we can agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, good. So keep an eye on that. They will be announcing all these awards next week. Monday, the 9th is Rookie of the Year. The 10th, Manager of the Year. 11th is Cy Young, and 12th, the MVPs. Andrew, you ready for some a little bit of free agency talk?
I'm always ready for free agency talk because it's got to be a big off season for some teams.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's got to be a big off season for some teams, and the awkward part about this is that we don't know when any of these guys are going to get signed because of COVID and everything that's going on. The economics of baseball are kind of thrown off. We don't know how many playoff teams we're going to get next year to begin with. We don't know if there are going to be fans in the stands next year. We don't know how many games we're going to play next year. We don't know a lot of things about the next year's baseball season, which is crazy. That's crazy to begin with.
What's also crazy, we don't even know the rules yet. Like, we're still trying to figure out if there's going to be DH and all that next year. So, like, if you're an NL team, do you go after a guy just in case? Do you not? Like, there's a lot of question marks, not only with how much of these guys are going to sign for, but let alone what are the rules going to be when you get on the field?
Yeah, so this is going to hamper a lot of teams, from signing players to be to start off with. Shout out to the Mets, by the way, already making signings, signing Jose Peraza, a former Boston legend, obviously. So
I'm sure everybody knows that name.
Yeah. Shout out to Jose Peraza. But it's gonna be weird. We have some big names out there. I mean, Trevor Bauer. Actually, let's go through our top 5 right now, Andrew. We're gonna go through our top 5 free agents out there right now, and only one pitcher out there in my top 5, and he's the best pitcher in the league in the NL. He's number 1 on my list. It's Trevor Bauer. Do you have any complaints with that?
No, number 1 overall, right? Right, free agency wise.
Yeah, number one overall free agent. I think he's.
I agree with you.
We'll talk about him further when we get into pitchers. This episode will be strictly hitters. To begin with, we will talk pitchers next time. I think we'll do next Tuesday. Maybe we'll have to cut back to 1 episode a week with all this not happening with baseball. So,
we'll see.
But we'll see. Yeah. We'll talk hitters today. Trevor Bauer, congratulations. You're going to be making a lot of money, whether that be in a 1-year deal or whether that be in a long-term deal. We'll still find out.
I got a quick question. I'll wait till we dive deep into free agency.
Okay. Number 2 I have is DJ Lemay Hugh. You heard us earlier. Top 3 MVP finalist, highest batting average in a season since Josh Hamilton. He is. I don't know if he's considered a second baseman anymore, but I would say he's the best second baseman in baseball right now, at least in the AL for sure. I think there's no complaints with him being number 2, right?
No, I think he is number 2 because of it. One, his versatility to play all over. Like you said, you're going to probably list him as a second baseman, but he can range from a lot of different positions. And then his ability to kind of do everything, average-wise, power-wise. I think that's pretty special in a player. So I give him the edge at number 2.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't. Yeah. Number 3, Andrew. I've got Marcel Osuna, your man, Marcel Osuna. He is a DH basically because he is the worst fielding outfielder in baseball when he is out there. So this is one of those instances where he's especially going to be out in the wind, trying to decide. Is he a DH? Is it an NL team going to say you're our DH like the Braves, or are we going to get another AL only signing for Marcel?
I'm going to go a little different than you here. This is where I'm going to throw JT Realmuto.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why is because I think his defense is special for teams, especially at the catcher position, throwing guys out behind the plate, blocking pitches and stuff, and then his ability to still hit as a catcher, and him being the best at his position. I think that kind of gives him the slight edge over Azuna or a few guys will be about to name as well. Because I think there's a couple guys that were fighting for that 3 spot between JT, Marcel, and George Springer. But I'm gonna give JT the slight edge.
I had JT at number 4, so that's perfectly fine. Is there anything else you want to say about JT? Or can we just move on?
Sign him.
Okay, fair enough. Number what? Who's your number 4, Andrew?
Number 4, I'm gonna go Marcelo Zuna. That's right, Marcel.
Okay, awesome. And my number 5 is George Springer.
I agree.
Best outfielder left in the free agency. He's a good center fielder. He has that championship pedigree with the Astros, but sign stealing, all that good stuff. How good is he? He's always good in the postseason, though, so it's gonna be great. Shout out to Preston Ekdahl for making fun of my crusty crustache right now. Appreciate it. I would like to see your facial hair as well for No Shave November, Preston. I can't wait to see that. Moving on, of course. Number 5. Was that your number 5 as well?
Yeah, it's my number 5 as well.
Okay. Do you have any words about George Springer, or are we gonna just continue moving on to the player positions?
We can move on. I don't have much else different to say than you did. So
okay, awesome.
We'll move on.
So let's start at catcher. I want you. I'm gonna lay out here, Andrew. I'm gonna go ahead and let you do your thing. I just want the argument. I want you to talk as if you are talking to your general manager, who does not exist. I believe you don't have a general manager yet.
We have an interim general manager, and I won't rant, but that's another rant. But he's most likely going to be our general manager for the season.
Okay, so good. That's awesome. I want you to talk as if you are talking to him and you are trying to get him to sign your beloved JT Realmuto.
Man, there's so many bullet points you can start with. First,
you do your thing. Take your time.
First, let's just start with the overall position. I mean, catcher is one of the most important positions you can have in baseball. It's kind of almost a lot of cases, he's your game caller for a lot of the pitchers. He's calling the pitches and everything, and the pitchers are responding to him. So, again, his defensive value, I think, is really important, from not only calling games, but to throwing out runners, keeping them at a scoring position. You see it from time in, time out with him behind the plate. And then along with pitchers, I mean, you look at guys, first off, I mean, let's just go to your team. You have Bryce Harper basically advertising to sign JT almost every day on the field throughout the season, and almost every day in the offseason as well. He's doing something usually with JT, number 1. The number 2, your big pitcher acquisition last year, and Zach Wheeler said one of the reasons why he came here was to play with JT because of how good he knew he was behind the plate. So, I mean, you have 2 of arguably your best one of your best pitchers and then your best hitter. I mean, just talking about how important JT is to the team in itself. So first off, that shows his importance. And then second, you don't want to make your two of your top players angry and even think about demanding a trade if you're not going to respond to that case. So I think that's important as well. And then on top of that, he's able to hit. It's not like he's just a one-sided player, which I feel like a lot of cases, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of cases you get that in catchers is they're either really good at hitting, not the best fielder, or they're really good at fielding and they're not the best hitter. Well, it's special to get a guy that can do both. And I understand his age and you can make that argument, but when it's all said and done, he's only 30 years old. Even if you sign him to a 6-year deal, as much as I hate it, we all know the DH is coming eventually, whether it's going to be this year or in following years. And in the back end of the deal, you just move him to first and play DH. So I don't see any way you can say not to sign him. And I know they're going to make the money argument or whatever, but my counter to that is look at everyone else being signed. So,
okay, fair enough. I'm glad. Do you think he will be signed there? Like, how are you feeling as of right now?
I'm very nervous. If my guess is he will not be in the Phillies uniform. If I was guessing, does he want to be? I think he wants to be. Yes, I don't think it has anything to do with him. I don't think the Phillies are going to be willing to step up and pay for him. And every time I hear somebody from the front office, it makes me more nervous about the situation. And I mean, let's take for an example, GM spot. The Phillies haven't interviewed one GM yet. So there's already they're already dysfunctional in the organization. They're blaming COVID for every single thing you can imagine. That's why they blame the non-GM search starting yet, because quote quote Andy McPhail. He said he believes that people aren't going to want to uproot in the middle of a pandemic. You look around the league. I'd say otherwise. But, so there's no reason to trust this organization with re-signing him until they actually do something. And unfortunately, that's where I stand, and I think he'll end up in New York. I'm going to go. I really think there's a good shot he's going to be a Mets, if not a Yankee.
Wow.
Which would be very crushing.
Okay. Well, that day I will be on speed dial, Andrew. I will call you immediately when I see the news. And I'm just going to hit record, and I'll let you talk.
Okay. I appreciate that. Real quick, because this is what when I was talking about when I said I was going to wait. Do you think any of these guys, I don't know about JT being a catcher, he'll probably want to lock a deal somewhere, but take DJ or like a Didi Gregorius or something like that. Do you think or I guess we didn't even offer DD, the qualifying offer, but do you think any of them take the qualifying offer because of the COVID season, so then they're going to try to reestablish themselves next season to get the long-term deal after that?
I think certain players will, like Kevin Gausman or Gosman. I think that's how you say his name. Like he's getting like 18 and a half from the Giants as his qualifying offer. If I was Kevin Gausman, you know what? Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my back pocket. Thank you. Yeah, I think he'll take it, but I don't think anyone else will really.
Okay.
I think they offered the same thing. I think that's what the qualifying offer is. It's 17 and a half or 18 and a half around there. So JT will be swiping that away from the Phillies as well. Anyone else you see in the JT sweepstakes beside the New York teams?
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but a sleeper team I really believe is the Dodgers. They have all the money in the world. I know they got Will Smith, but you could package him for a pitcher or something like that. A sleeper team I really think would be the Dodgers.
Okay, yeah, that would be bad. I have them for a sleeper for another prospect or another player we'll talk about later. My teams, I've got two more on there. One, of course, you'll be like, oh, you want them to get everyone. My name's Andrew. Of course, the Red Sox are going to be they're going to be buyers now. Potentially they go in for JT Realmuto. I doubt it, though. I don't really think they have a chance there. Just wanted to mention them real fast. I have San Diego, the Padres. They don't have a catcher right now.
That's a good one.
They are trying to buy rapidly. They know that their window is open and it's here. So I think the Padres could be interesting. And then, a team that I don't know, they're not year-to-year buyers, but we have seen them do it before. Spend the money in sometimes short spurts. The Cincinnati Reds. I think
it's another good one.
I think them buying the best catcher in baseball when they're known for Johnny Bench being the best catcher ever. I think that like aura could come off, Maybe they do. Maybe, like you said, maybe the JT goes into a 1-year deal to get his value up, which I don't know why he would. Maybe he's not getting the deals, the long-term deals he's getting. Maybe he goes, I'll play 1 year, $30 million to the Reds. Thanks, no problem, and then goes back in. So I think the Reds would be an interesting one. But I guess it's just being around you. I think the Phillies do it. I think the Phillies do it.
I hope you're right.
I think the Phillies have to sign him. They traded for him. They gave up 6 toes for him, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That's correct.
So, I don't think personally I would not be able to do my job and have that hang over me. So, but I traded. So,
I'm with you. I hope you're right. I'd say one team to add, if not two. I'll say two. Because of the year they had last year, and their catcher is a free agent as well, could be the White Sox.
Yes,
and then, they had him playing first a lot, didn't they? Because then they had James McCann behind the plate, I think.
And James McCann's gone, who we'll talk about in a second.
And he's a free agent.
Yeah, if you guys see me swiping around for things, there's a fly around me. And
I was wondering what was going on. I'm not gonna lie. And then another, I guess, would be a sleeper. I don't think it's going to happen, but I've heard his name thrown there before because I think he's not from that exact area, but close to it. So it'd be a little bit of a homecoming. Is the Texas Rangers with the new park and everything, and they're going to be looking to add players. I have heard JT to Texas before.
fuck, man. I would not. If I was you, Andrew, I would block Sam from ever contacting me ever again if that happened. I would never talk to Sam ever. We mentioned his name earlier. James McCann's probably the second best catcher in this prospect and in his prospect in this group. He will be a nice backup starting catcher for someone as well. We've also got Tyler Flower from Atlanta, framing specialist over there. I wouldn't be surprised if he went back. Jason Castro, and then the old man of the group, Yadier Molina, has apparently been in contact with a couple teams already. One of them being the Cardinals. He's 38. He says he wants to play 2 more years to go into his 40s. Then he's gonna retire. Lifelong Cardinal, is it going to happen, Andrew? Are we going to see Yachty switch teams?
No, I think when it's all said and done, I think he goes back to the Cardinals.
Okay, you think?
What was that? I think he goes back. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
here's the thing, though. I honestly think it's going to be a 1-year deal. I can't see a team giving him 2 years, pushing 40. I think he can last till 40, but I think he might get 2 1-year deals, like play this year and then play again next year. Because I mean, you're asking a lot to give a catcher. Lock him up for 2 years, knowing he's going to be 40. So maybe a 2-year deal with an opt out after one, something like that. I can't see a team guaranteeing him 2 years though.
I think Yachty leaves. I think Yachty goes on the hunt for a ring.
He's got enough for those though.
Hey man, you can't have enough, dog.
No, okay, that was the wrong word. But I'm saying he's already got somewhere. I don't think I don't know. I feel like once you already got, what does he have, 2, 3? At that point, I could see him being more loyal to the franchise rather than being a ring chaser.
Man, fuck, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this out loud to give anyone ideas, but I would not like Yadier Molina in pinstripes. I would not like him to go to New York. That would not be a fun time. Is he a good offensive catcher anymore? No, not really. But he can get you a hit in big situations in the postseason, and you cannot run on Yachty. You simply cannot. There were certain instances, he's almost 40. So he's not the old arm, gold glove, can't run on who every time kind of guy. Like Tatis stole a couple bases on him in the postseason, which was kind of shocking to see. He stole third on. Someone stole third on him. I think it was Tatis, and I was just shocked to see someone doing that. But he's still one of the best defensive catchers of all time, if not the best. He locks down the bases. He has that fear. He can handle a staff. Man, I would not like him to go to New York. That would not be a good time. So,
I don't know. I wouldn't be as afraid as him as I would used to be. I mean, yeah, he can get you that one hit, and he has been bad. But again, if let's throw the Mets in there. If they want to lock him up for 2, 3 years and give him what he's going to get, like $9-10 million. If they want to lock him up for that, go for it. I'd rather that than them go out and get like a James McCann or a JT. Honestly, I mean obviously JT, but like even a James McCann or somebody like that.
Okay, fair enough. By the way, Sam, of course, chiming in with a question. What would be worse for you, Jose? Yachty in NYC or Cora not being Boston's manager? And it's definitely Cora not being Boston's manager. I'm actually, Andrew, speaking of Cora, since he's brought up, I am checking my phone very much a lot because I'm just waiting. Mr. Kind Bloom said that manager would be announced today or tomorrow. Yesterday, I believe. It might be today. All these days are starting to run in together, Andrew. But he said that there would be an announcement, and it's either Alex Cora or Sam Fold, who I remember actually watching play in Tampa Bay. So that's going to be pretty crazy. But if it's Sam Fold, we riot. So it'll be fun. It's fine. I actually feel bad for Heim because it's basically Sam Fold, my actual selection, who I want to be the manager and who I want to work with, or what everyone else wants, and Alex Cora. And you know what, Bloom Dog, you got to take the bullet. You got to take the bullet here. It's Alex Cora. It's Alex Cora. There's no problem.
Could be.
Let's finish the catchers. Steven Vogt, Robinson Chirinos, Kurt Suzuki, and Mike Zunino. Mike Mizuno of Tampa Bay Rays postseason fame. Any of those names stand out to you? Any of those names that you think would make an impact on a certain team?
I'm curious to see what kind of impact Zunino gets after his postseason. He kind of like, I know he's not the best hitter, but he had a good, better postseason than he did regular season. I wonder if that plays an impact. He's a very good defensive catcher, so I think he can make an impact on a team. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a kind of not long term, but maybe a redeal with the Rays, something like that, or go to a team like the Mets, who, if they can't sign JT, they are believed to have pitchers every year, and they kind of never had that catcher to help them out. And that's one more name I want to mention. I don't think you mentioned yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that's Wilson Ramos. He was up there with the Mets, and he's a free agent as well. And he's been known for his hitting more than anything. He's struggled in the field for most of his career. So maybe that could be something the Mets do, is if they can't get JT, they kind of go for more of a defensive catcher in Yadier or Mike Zunino.
Okay, fair enough. I guess I don't want to hurt you, Andrew, but I'm going to ask you this question. Let's say doomsday scenario happens and JT is in fact not signed. Who would you want of this crop of catchers to step up and be the Phillies catcher?
I would say James McCann.
Okay.
What was that?
Is it close?
Yes. I'd say it's close with Mike Zunino. As much as I don't like his offense, if you do lose JT, I would want a defensive catcher still back there. Because if Harper, Alkbohm, all them are believed to be what they are, your offense should still be fine and still be able to produce. So I'd want a defensive catcher in there to continue up the pitching, which has been a weakness. So I'd want that game caller.
All right, good. So I think we're good to move on from catchers.
I agree.
You guys are all fun jobs. First base. Let's move on. I've got a short list here. First baseman.
It's very short.
Yeah, very short list. Your former and beloved Carlos Santana, as Drupal Cabrera, Mitch Moreland, Eric Thames, CJ Crone, and former postseason legend, Daniel Murphy. Short list here, like I said. Carlos Santana, I think, is firmly the standout. He is 35 with a 4.7 WAR, career WAR, I believe that is. Next closest is as Drupal at 35 with a 1.8 WAR. So if you need a first base bat, it's going to be Carlos Santana this year.
Yeah, I'd be careful with Santana. Honestly, at the 35 scares me a little bit. I think he's still a good player. I don't think he's what he used to be. So I'd be careful with him a little bit. I think he really likes Cleveland. I wouldn't be surprised to see a contract down there to keep him there. I know they declined to didn't give him that qualifying offer, but when it's all said and done, I think he could still end up back there. And I think that's where he continues to have his success. When you saw him leave, he struggled, and then he got traded to Seattle, but was traded a few weeks later back to Cleveland. So I think that's where he wants to be. And then it's a short list, not much going. I'm interested to see. I'm pretty sure Ryan Zimmerman's a free agent as well. I'm kind of interested to see what happens there. With him being 36, kind of took the year off. Does Washington go back to him? Does he go back to Washington? I'm not going to say he's going to go win your World Series, but I think on a young team, maybe if he doesn't stay in Washington, he's a very good veteran voice in there to kind of help develop players, and then maybe a deadline trade to help a contender if he's having success. So I kind of like him there. And I'm surprised you didn't mention this guy right here, Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, I think I mentioned Mitch Moreland.
Oh, you did? I didn't hear you mention him. I was trying to cross everybody on my list when you said him. But anyway.
Mitch is good. Mitch is good. He's a great first baseman. He's a great glove. He can give you a great bat. I think your Zimmerman thing's crazy. It'd be wild if he left the Nationals. I think he's going to retire, to be honest. But
I never said he's good. I'm just saying as an option. Like, I mean,
well, Samwise wants him in Arlington apparently. So I don't know what he'd do much there. He wouldn't. He would just be a fucking bench coach, I guess. But. No, I hope Zimmerman stays in Washington. I hope he retires, honestly, and Andrew, I don't know if you've noticed, because every time Ryan Zimmerman's in a game with the Nationals, you'll probably hear this at least once. He was the Nationals' first pick.
Yeah. So it's just meant to be for him to stay there, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's Mr.
But
National.
here's my thing. I would consider give him to let's throw Detroit out there. They're a pretty good first base prospect. I think you kind of have that. I mean, you kind of have him there as the mentor, kind of have him develop, and I think he could do a good veteran voice kind of thing. If you're Ryan Zimmerman, you still want to play. The team comes out and says, "Here's $2 million." I think you're going to take it.
I think the Nationals could do all that, and I think he could compete with the Nationals. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
You mentioned his name, Mitch Moreland. I think personally could be the best bat of the first base group.
Yeah,
I like him. Here's a little, I guess, not a sleeper, not a team that spends much. I like him to go to Minnesota. The Twins, fill that first base hole maybe, get some good glove in there. He's a great locker room guy. Old, yeah, he's not going to move. He's not going to play every day for you, but against lefties, put him in there and he's going to rake.
Yeah, I agree with that. And obviously, DH spot for any team in the American League, and if they add it, his value will go up too. I don't think he's a bad DH. I think teams don't trust him against left-handed pitchers as much, but against a right-hander, I think he's arguably a really good hitter, and he could be one of the better contact players out of the free agency market here. If you're talking pure just contact against right-handed pitching,
I
think he could be
earlier. I meant right, by the way. So shout out to me. Yes, he rakes the pitchers as he hits like 100.
So it's gonna be interesting.
Is there anything else you want to say about these first basemen? By the way, Daniel Murphy to New York, to the Mets again. That would be where I would want him to go.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, you especially would be fine with that. Second base, Andrew. This is where we talk about DJ Lemay Hugh more. I think odds are that he stays in New York, but it's much more fun to think of what if he doesn't go to stay in New York. The Yankees have not been giving out large contracts willy-nilly. I would say that he arguably deserves this large contract. I think realistically it's going to be like 3-4 years probably. Would you agree with me there, Andrew?
Yeah, I would say maybe 5.
Okay.
Because 5 puts him at 37.
I'd say, and I wrote this down conveniently. I looked at all the position groups and who makes the most money and all that stuff, and obviously Jose Altuve makes the most at $29 million a year. I think he will get over 29 for sure. I think he'll be 31. I think he'll get 3 for 31, and I think he'll probably stay with New York. But what if he leaves, Andrew? What if? I know a team in Philadelphia that needs a second baseman, perhaps. I don't know.
Hey, I would be surprised. I mean, yeah, so I obviously love DJ LeMahieu on your team. I don't think Phillies putting out $30 million for him. I think he's. I mean, we had him number 2 on the free agency list. I think. Yeah. I don't know if a team will give him 31. I don't know with his age and everything. I don't know if he'll get the 30 million. I think he could get the 28, 29. I don't know if he'll get a full on 31 from a team, especially in this kind of year. He was at 12 million last year. Market value AAV has, according to Spot Track, when I was looking at it, has him projected around 22.8 million. That's what that was his qualifying offer. Maybe that's the qualifying offer, yeah, but that's what it has under his market value. So I think that's probably his qualifying offer, is my guess. So they'll probably obviously decline that, and then we'll see what happens. Outside of the Yankees, I could see St. Louis going in for him. They've been known for making kind of signings. We saw him get Goldschmidt a few years ago. They declined They declined a guy we're about to talk about now, Colton Wong. So they'll need a kind of a fill in there at second. I could also see.
I'll give you another one. The New York Mets. First big signing under the Cohen regime.
What better way to steal from the Yankees, your cross rival?
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Just steal the MVP from the Yankees right there. I mean, it would be classic Mets for them to go like, you know what? Here's 4 for 31. Here's 4 for 35. Whatever you need to come over to the dark side. And DJ Lemay, who promptly falls off a cliff and he stinks, and then he's just a big contract the Mets have forever. That is classic Mets right there.
That would be pretty funny.
But DJ Lemay, who's great, and I think he'll be doing this for a while.
Oh, absolutely. I think he could even get another. I mean, obviously not this much, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him be one of those guys that gets another contract after 36, 37 years old.
Yeah, that contact bat is just too good. Like we said, he hit the highest average in a season since Josh Hamilton at 361. So shout out to DJ. Let's move on to Colton Wong. My favorite Colton here, Andrew. Let's share Colton Wong story since everyone wants that. My favorite Colton Wong play, Andrew, is when he got picked off in the World Series against the Red Sox in 2013 and lost the game for the Cardinals. What is your favorite Colton Wong moment? Because that's definitely.
I'll agree with you because I don't know if I come up with one on the top of my head. He's a good player, but I don't have Colton Wong memories like you do.
No, I love Colton Wong. He's a great player. I actually got his autograph one time too when he was playing in the Cardinal system. Let me tell you, Andrew, he is every inch of 5'8".
Okay.
A very short man, but he's a great second baseman. Leaving the Cardinals. My two teams that I thought were very interesting. A team that does not spend money. The Oakland A's. I think he has Oakland A written all over him, to be honest.
I could see that. You're right.
They don't spend money usually, but maybe shell out a little dough for a Colton right here. And my second one, he's a Hawaiian guy. Why not be as close to Hawaii as you can? Let's go to San Diego, baby. Let's go to Slam Diego. They just lost Pofar. He's going to be a free agent. Maybe they re-sign him, but Colton Wong is a very serviceable second baseman.
Don't they have the rookie of the year at second, possibly?
Good thing Jay Cronenworth can play wherever he wants, Andrew. He can play second, he can play third. Maybe Machida wants to DH. I don't know. He can play wherever, though. That's the good thing about Cronenworth.
Well, we'll see.
Colton Wong, I don't go in, but the A's, I want him to go to the A's. That's my.
I like that A's pick. I think that's pretty cool.
Any more Kwong thoughts?
Because he's cheaper and they're not wanting to spend money. A guy we're probably about to talk to next, the Indians. Their second baseman's a free agency. I could see him in Cleveland.
Okay, fair enough. Let's talk Jonathan Villar, free agent. I think he'll probably stay in Miami, but the Red Sox need a second baseman. And I was like, maybe Jonathan Villar interests them. I don't know. Perhaps.
Is he a free agent?
Yeah, apparently.
I don't have him on my list.
Well, wherever I got my list from had him. I definitely remember. I think it was MLB.com. They definitely had him on there. So
okay.
Next guy, you mentioned him earlier, Cesar Hernandez, Gold Glove winner.
Yes.
I think he's going to re-sign in Cleveland, to be honest. But
I could say that as well. I was always a fan of him.
Yeah, are Philly correct?
He is. He is a former Philly. Last year was his first year away from the team. So
of course, won a Gold Glove.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Tommy La Stella next. You're a favorite of yours, former Oakland A. Maybe they fill this hole with Colton Wong. Maybe they bring back this La Stella.
I kind of like a La Stella re-signing there in Oakland. I really do. He's kind of like not talent-wise, but he's a DJ Lemay who can kind of play all over the place, fill in wherever you need him that night. And I don't think he's not going to be too expensive. So I could honestly see them going after Colton Wong and Tommy La Stella, bring them both in.
Yeah, he traded for him in the middle of the season, so might as well re-sign him. Jonathan Scope, former Baltimore Orioles legend and now Detroit Tigers legend. I think he'll probably stay in Detroit, but he should be named as well. Quality second baseman. Jason Kipnis, Kike Hernandez, D. Gordon, and Jed Lowry are round out the second baseman group. Any thoughts there, Andrew?
No, I think after the kind of top, you kind of get all mixture of talents. I also have D. Gordon as a free agent. I don't know if you have that one. That's an interesting name.
I mentioned him as well, yeah.
That's an interesting name. I mean, he's obviously got past history. I don't know how well he'll be able to do now. Speed's kind of
better now.
So I think second base is kind of short in terms of talent, like first base a little bit. You got obviously you got DJ, but after that, it takes a quick drop off, and you kind of get feel like a lot of good talent, but all similar talent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on to third base. One name really leads the charge here. It's Justin Turner, Mr. Positive himself. 36, 4.7 WAR. I think he gets a 2-year and go back to LA. Do you think he goes anywhere?
No, I think he's going to stay in LA and much deserved. I think he's very undervalued. And we'll see what kind of contract he gets. He got $20 million last year. I think he takes a little dive from that. I think I'll be just underneath that, but I like a 2-year deal with the Dodgers, puts him at 38, and then maybe see him retire.
Yeah, 2 years, 15, maybe 2 years, 10, perhaps, but we'll see. We have the rest of these third basemen who all pretty much stink, unfortunately. Eric Sogar, not a bad name. The Todd father, a.k.a. Andrew's brother, Todd Frazier.
Never makes sense.
Brock Holtz, my darling. We've got Marwin Gonzalez, a good name, Jake Lamb, and Zach Cozart. Andrew, I'll go quickly. I'm going to go Todd Frazier to the Phillies because of your brother's tie. I wrote Brock Holt back to Boston, ? But realistically, I don't think he gets signed, unfortunately. But we're going to keep that hush.
Well, we get that veteran, tryout deal in spring training.
Yeah, I love Brock Holt, and I hope he goes to Boston. Marwin Gonzalez is really who I'd like to see in Boston. I would like to see Marwin there. He's a good hitter. Had his moments of madness in Minnesota, but I like to see him there. Jake Lamb, I'll probably say at the A's as well. He stays there.
Yeah, I could see that happening as well. I think again, after Justin Turner, I think it takes it Justin Turner, then Marwin Gonzalez, and then it just drops to like all the same tier. I feel like Maikel Franco, he'll be an interesting one as well. Had an interesting season with Kansas City, up and down a little bit. I don't know if he'll get a deal somewhere. I also have Eduardo Nunez. I don't know. I think he played for Boston for a little bit, so I don't know what kind of fan you are of him. But yeah, I feel like it's kind of a weaker free agency class than usual, honestly. Outside those top names.
No, you're right. You're for sure right. And I'm gonna move on quickly because we're starting to push up against time here, and we don't want to keep people here too long. Sam wants to know about Arenado getting moved this offseason, and we will talk trades after we get done with the position. So your Lindors and your Arenados will be talked about here soon. But let's get through this. Let's get through this, Andrew. Shortstops. I've got 4 names, really, Andrew. One being your beloved Marcus Semien. He's a free agent. He put up bad numbers this year, but he really just had 2 bad weeks to start off with, and then kind of struggled in the postseason. But he's still a good shortstop, best shortstop available, to be honest. I don't see him going back to the. Oh, well, you don't disagree. Okay, we'll see.
You can make an argument for another guy.
Okay, fair enough. I don't think he goes back to Oakland because that's just not what Oakland does, really. I wrote down at Cincinnati here. I thought that would be interesting for them. I don't think he gets a long-term deal, by the way, as well. I think it's like a 1 or 2 year deal. Seattle, I wrote down as well. And perhaps, maybe the Angels want to throw around some money again. I don't know.
I mean, they'll be looking for somebody if they can't re-sign their guy, which we'll get into too.
Yeah. Next I had on there was Didi Gregorius. I believe you're familiar with his talents.
Yeah, very familiar. Very good player. I think you can make a case he's almost as good as Semien. I think I would love to re-sign him personally. We didn't extend a qualifying offer, of course, but we'll see what he gets. I think he's a high-value left-handed hitter here. I could see Cincinnati being a team. I could see the Angels if they lose Simmons. He could be a guy there. I think could be a lot of suitors for Gregorius as well. Who knows what's going to happen with other teams? I don't know. We'll see. I could even see, and you just mentioned his name, and we'll get into the full trade talk in a little bit, but if the Indians move a Lindor, I could see Gregorius filling that role.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think Didi would fit in really well in Cleveland, to be honest. That makes sense a lot. That makes a lot of sense in my head. Andrelton Simmons, perennially known for being one of the best shortstop defenders, maybe. Well, I wouldn't say ever, but being incredible year in and out, but never having the bat, not being able to stay healthy. He's a free agent. And Freddie Galvez rounds out the top 4 I have there. I saw Andrelton Simmons to New York, and I didn't really feel anything about it. But, I guess it's just anxiety of, like, if New York signs anyone, I don't like it, so.
It's fair. I think he's a good player. I like Simmons. He would be my replacement of Philly if we can't bring back Gregorius. I think his defense is special, especially at that position in the middle of the infield. Another kind of undervalued player, has never been in really the big player for a team. So I think his defense overshadows his hitting. So I think he's a good, solid, cheaper player, which honestly he kind of reminds me of an Oakland guy as well. And if they can't bring back Marcus, I think he could be that, $5 to $7 million type, or I'll probably get more than that, $8 to $10 million kind of dollar player there, and they might need a guy if they lose Simeon.
Okay, I agree with you. Left fielders, are you ready, Andrew?
Yes.
Michael Brantley leads the left fielder charge. And Andrew, I'm going to say now, this is the first time I'm being actually serious. I would like the Red Sox to get Michael Brantley. I think he's a professional hitter. I think his defense is good enough. I think he's a veteran presence to help the others. Michael Brantley is the first guy I really would like to see in Boston uniform.
Isn't that where Benintendi plays?
You know what, Andrew?
Is this the end of the Andrew Benintendi love?
We got a lot of problems there, but he might be shifting over to center field. So
okay,
so we'll see there. Next is Brett Gardner. If he goes anywhere but New York, I'll be shocked. And I think he sucks. So I don't know why he is still playing baseball, to be honest. He's 37 years old. So shout out to him. Next, we got Jock Peterson. I probably think I think he's going to sign back with the Dodgers, but maybe, I don't know. He's got a little Cardinals in him. He's got a little Atlanta Brave in him.
I like that.
Robbie
I could see Atlanta.
Well, that would be fun. He'd be hitting moonshots. Robbie Grossman, Ryan Braun, and Jay Bruce round out the left fielders. Do you have any thoughts on them?
Jay Bruce, I think, is more in terms of a DH guy. If you're looking for a DH, doesn't give you much in the field.
Yeah. I'd agree with that for sure.
Ryan Braun, at his age, kind of scares me as well. Never been a fan of his.
Yeah, he said honestly he's probably going to retire if he doesn't resign with the Brewers. So it's Brewers or retirement for Ryan Braun. I just put him in here for, he's a former MVP supportive.
Now, who's the last guy?
It was just Robbie Grossman. Yeah. No worries about Robbie Grossman. Yeah. That's everyone's reaction about Robbie Grossman.
Here's a name. The name you forgot, though, because if he doesn't play DH, he is a left fielder. Marcelo Zuna.
Well, he's a DH. I think I have a section for DH. But
yeah. He's a left fielder, too.
But there's more DHs that are interesting. He'll be in the DH conversation. Don't you worry. We'll talk about him. I promise.
Well, you got to stay open. Your beloved DH position isn't around the league yet, at least for this year. Okay. So
we'll see.
You got to keep it open.
We'll see. Sure. Marcel Zuna can play left field, and we'll talk about him here soon.
Okay.
Center field. George Springer is obviously the head of the class. The Astros extended a qualifying offer. I don't think he'll take it. Obviously, if you've watched the show reoccurringly, you'll know that my least favorite scenario is that the Red Sox sign him. I hope they don't. But I think he stays in Houston, to be honest.
I agree. I can't see Springer leaving anywhere. I don't see him leaving and going anywhere. I mean, he's got what they built in Houston. I mean, obviously he's not well liked around the league at this point or the fan wise. So I can't see him getting anything big or anything like that.
You'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the Red Sox fucking dropped a bomb and just gave him a shitload of money. I wouldn't.
That'd kind of be funny.
Next, my second best outfielder, my second best center fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr., 31. He is for sure not going to re-sign with the Red Sox, I think. He has been like, fuck it, guys, see you later. to Boston. So I don't anticipate him going back. The two places I saw for Jackie, the Philadelphia Phillies.
I was about to say this has the Phillies written all over it.
The
I don't know how I'd feel yet, but this has the Phillies written all over it. And
Yeah.
I mean, you're a Red Sox fans, so you know every single trade deadline. I feel like for the past 4 or 5 years, it's look out for Jackie Bradley to Philadelphia move. It could happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, this would be the time. It has it written all over.
Yeah, Jackie Bradley to Philadelphia. I can see that. He is the best defensive center fielder in baseball, I think. And even with Mike Trout being there, I can say that pretty confidently. Best defensive center fielder, former ALCS MVP. But he is the most streakiest person alive. He will hit, like, if he gets hot, he'll hit 400 for like 2 weeks. And then for the rest of the week, he'll hit 083 and just strike out every single time.
So what kind of money is he getting?
Let's think about that, Andrew. So let me scroll down real fast. I don't think he's getting big money, obviously.
Like $7 million?
So center fielders, obviously Mike Trout makes the most, 37 million. Milwaukee, Lorenzo Cain, he makes the second most at 16 million. We've got Kevin Kiermaier at 14, and then good old Starling Marte makes 12 and a half. So I think he gets 5 to 7, kind of around there. You gotta make a guess of it. Like I said, best defensive center fielder, but that can only take you so far. Next, Kevin Pillar, another former Red Sox. I think he stays in Colorado. He's not a bad bat. He's a good defensive player. Maybe not a center fielder. More of a corner outfielder now, I guess. I don't know why I have him in center, but he can play the position. He's not bad.
Yeah,
I liked him.
He can. He's a really good defender as well. Kind of another streaky hitter like Bradley. It'll be interesting to see what his market value is and what he's going to get. I don't see him staying in Colorado, if I'm being honest. I don't know where I see him exactly yet. I could see the Phillies, honestly, and if they can't get Bradley. I don't think they liked their center field spot last year. I could see a team. What about the Nationals? I don't think they have a solidified center fielder, do they? I feel like Adam Eaton's up and down. I could see them kind of giving up on him a little bit.
Hey, we're going to talk about Adam Eaton here soon, Andrew.
Okay. I'd say, what about, I don't know. I don't know what kind of market he's going to have and how many teams are going to be chasing him. Yeah. So he's a real question mark for me.
Late signing, like spring training kind of signing for sure. Yeah. Jake Marisnick, Gerard Dyson, and Billy Hamilton round out the center fielders. I have absolutely nothing to say about any of those guys.
Yeah, all Billy Hamilton adds a speed maybe for a playoff run as a pitch runner. But
yeah, that's it. It's a shame he can't hit. He could have been the best center fielder in baseball. Right fielders, Adam Eaton, free agent. Cameron Maben, Yasiel Puig, Matt Joyce, Josh Reddick, Nick Markakis. This is where I had Eduardo Nunez, by the way, I guess. And Steven Souza Jr. A lot of slop here, led by Adam Eaton. I think I would not be surprised if he resigned with the Nationals. But when I kept looking at this, I was like, man, it would be fun if he went back to the White Sox, forgetting that he got traded from the White Sox to the Nationals.
Yeah, that would be funny. I don't know what I could honestly see that though. Like, I don't think they have a solidified right fielder, center fielder kind of option. Yeah. It'd be an interesting market for him, especially already having, like you said, got that trade. Markakis, I don't know if he plays. I could see him kind of retiring. I don't know if he's
retired last year. So
what was that?
He almost retired this past year.
Yeah, and then he opted out, and then he opted back in. So I don't think he knows exactly what he wants yet. But his market will be interesting because he's 37. So whatever he gets will probably be just a year deal. But he's been a fantastic contact type hitter. But I don't know. I think right field, honestly, you can make the argument might be the weakest out of all the free agency positions.
Yeah, definitely. Someone sign Yasiel Puig, please, by the way. Someone please do that. That'd be.
Hey, the Braves tried to last year.
I hope they do him again. I hope they do it again.
Which I always thought that was funny. They didn't try to bring him back because, obviously he failed or had a positive COVID test, but that only lasted so long, and they could still use them. Like it wasn't like, oh, he tested positive for COVID, so he can't touch baseball anymore.
I know, right? DH is the last free agency spot that we're going to talk about today. And it is headlined by someone we have not talked about. Maybe, I mean, on his right day, could be a top 5 free agent in this class. Nelson Cruz, a free agent from Minnesota. Marcelo Zuna, Edwin Encarnacion, Howie Kendrick, Sinsu Chu, Jonas Cespedes, Matt Kemp, and Derek Dietrich round out the DHs.
There's some good names on here. A lot of older guys, but I guess that's where you get a DH. So I don't know if any of them are going to sign record-breaking deals. I like Cruz to stay in Minnesota. I like Edwin to stay with the White Sox.
Same.
I see Shin-Soo Choo leaving the Rangers. I can't see him staying.
I think he goes back to the KBO.
I like that pick. I like that pick.
You like that pick. The KBO. Yeah, we like that pick. He's going to go back to the KBO. He's going to be a Doosan Bear. Calling it now.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Is Cespedes on a roster?
What?
Is Cespedes going to be on a roster? Yes or no?
No.
Matt,
not.
Is he going to be on a roster? Yes or no?
We're talking about like finalized rosters, right?
Like opening day roster.
No, Matt Kemp will not be opening day.
Neither is Cespedes. Does that make you change?
No, I take that back. Cespedes will be on opening day roster.
Okay. Howie Kendrick.
Yes.
Okay. Good. All right. That rounds out the DHs then. Any other DH signings that would be interesting?
Well, you didn't let me talk about Marcel Zuna last time, so I don't know what your Marcel Zuna hate is. I don't know what it is. He's MVP, 2020 MVP, and just won't give him any love.
Okay,
go ahead. There should be a lot of suitors for Marcel Zuna.
There will be. I think the Red Sox are among them, but unfortunately, if he went to the Red Sox, he would not be able to play DH all the time. So,
well, you could let him play left field.
The Green Monster, Andrew, would eat his fucking lunch.
Fine, move JD to first, and then let Marcel DH.
Andrew, I simply don't think JD Martinez can play first base. It's unfortunate. We just don't have room for him. I like Marcel Osuna. I would like to see him in Boston, but that's not going to happen. I think he signs with Atlanta, and I think they overpay him too.
I don't want him back in Atlanta. He's a good player.
What about does ye old Philadelphia have a DH?
DH? No. I love Marcel Osuna. If you keep the DH and we get Marcel Osuna, maybe my DH opinion will change.
That'd be hilarious.
But no, I think, hey, Minnesota, say they can't resign Cruz. He plays Cruz. Left field.
You could pay less for now.
All the Twins care about is scoring runs and hitting home runs. Mm-hmm. So even if they would love Osuna in left field. Josh Donaldson, Nelson Cruz, Marcel Osuna.
That's hilarious. Okay, so that ends our free agency talk for the hitters.
One last thing.
Sure.
You should be all in on them.
Who?
The American League champions, the Rays.
Wow, the Rays spending money. That'll never happen. But
I know, but they should be all in on them. If they could get like a legit hitter in that lineup, a guy that can go out there and produce every day and like not question like what kind of days he's gonna have, it could do wonders for that team.
Andrew, you want to know who the Rays really should get? And this will segue us into our trade segment here. The Rays should just fuck it. Let's package some of our great prospects. Let's go get Lindor. I understand that Wander Franco plays shortstop. I understand all that. I understand Brett Lau plays second base. If you want to move him there, move him to third base. Go get Lindor. That would be awesome. But the small market Rays don't do that stuff. So
I'm going to change it up. They should go get a guy that's already locked up who was mentioned in this chat by Sam. Since they already have that value at shortstop, go get Arenado.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the trades. Arenado, is he on Colorado's opening day roster? Yes or no?
No. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Is he on Colorado's roster at the trade deadline?
After, you mean, I assume?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. Top two or three places you can see Arenado go?
I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
again. I could see. I already mentioned this team once. I could see him in a market like St. Louis. They're known for making moves. I mean, they went out, got Zuna, they got Goldschmidt.
Yeah, that's a good one because they have Matt Carpenter over there. I think. Yeah, I was gonna say Matt Chapman, Matt Carpenter over there. But yeah. So he's getting older. That's a good one.
I like the Cardinals. I could see. I'm trying to think about American League teams.
I mean,
they already locked up there.
I don't think they have the capital to do this, but the Red Sox. I'll put this in there. They're trying.
I was gonna say the Red Sox, but I feel like they like Devers.
Yeah, they do, but Devers fucking can't throw a baseball across a diamond accurately. That fucking asshole. Sometimes I love Rafael Devers.
I know you do.
Love Rafael Devers, but he is the worst defensive third baseman in the league, and it's not very close. He leads the league in errors like every year. So I think the Red Sox are more than willing to move him over to first base.
Okay. I also like, I already mentioned him once. I'm ready for the head shake. Texas Rangers.
It's so disgusting that the Rangers are involved in these conversations.
But they should be. They have made those deals before. They went out and traded for Corey Kluber last year.
They don't have a prospect like to get from. They don't have a good system, so it has to be free agency and trades.
Yeah, and then you're not wrong, and that's the thing. I don't know if they'll have enough pieces to even get an Arenado after. I don't know what they're gonna have.
I mean, the worst case scenario for Lindor is going to Texas. Just take over Elvis Andrus' his spot. Ugh.
Well, no. I thought we were talking about Arenado.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but that's worst case scenario for Lindor.
Oh, okay.
That's just gross.
Why?
Because I just think Lindor's better. I want him to go to a big market where he can.
Lindor is better than him. So why is that?
I think he's better than Texas. I think I want him to go to a big market to compete for championships every year instead of chilling with the Rangers.
Yeah, a lot of Ranger hate for
competing for 5 years. Well, let's talk about another Texas Ranger who's going to get traded. The best pitcher in baseball, Lance Lynn.
Well, before I got one last destination for Arenado, real quick, was the Washington Nationals. They lost out on Anthony Rendon. Yeah. They kind of missed that spot. They obviously lost Harper. They're kind of looking for another hitter. So why not use your pieces and go get an Arenado, solidify that third base spot again? That worked wonders for you guys when you won the World Series. I could see them being buyers for Arenado.
I like that too. And here's the part that really matters. Like it at the end of the day, it really does not matter what prospects you're giving a team. Because the fucking Red Sox traded Mookie Betts for some fucking garbage and Alex Rodrigo. So it really does not matter if you have like a 1 by one of your prospects, you're fine. Who cares? So it doesn't matter. We know. Lance Lynn on the trade market. Hot take from Sam. Sam thinks that Lance Lynn is on the opening day roster and presumably the opening day starter. So, do you see Lance Lynn moving anywhere, Andrew?
I'm going to go off-season no, only because of the uncertainty of the whole COVID stuff going on. I think teams are going to be a little hesitant to make trades. I don't think – see, the thing with pitchers, especially with what's Lance Lynn now, like 32, 33, I think. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Especially at his age, I think he's in almost a spot – with already an uncertainty with the season and the world kind of going on, I think he's in a spot where you're going to wait and see with a guy like him at the deadline. He's not like a Francisco Lindor where if you trade for him, he's going to go out there and be one of the best, if not the best shortstops out there. Obviously, Lance Lynn's had a fantastic last 2 seasons. I know I'm a Lance Lynn fan. So I just think he's more of a trade deadline piece than an actual full season piece.
He's 33, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. I think the New York Yankees trade for Lance Lynn.
In the offseason?
Yeah, I think that's their move. to try to bolster their spot. And you know how I feel about Lance Lynn, the best pitcher in baseball, so I don't think it'll work out.
Hey, I mean, I'm not a Yankees fan. Obviously, I know you hate the Yankees, but they need to go out and get pitching for once. And them getting starting pitching is as bad as the Phillies getting relievers.
Yeah, for sure. Next, what was I? Well, I think we're good, Andrew. Honestly.
We mentioned Lindor. We don't really talk about options. We think.
Okay, well, I think both New York markets, obviously. I mean, Mets, Yankees, they both could use that guy. Definitely not the Red Sox. I mean, definitely not the Blue Jays.
All right for this?
Oh, I know. Okay, let's see if we're thinking the same thing, because I just remembered who I said earlier who will be on them. All right, so let's do it at the same time again. 3, 2, 1. The Dodgers. Yeah, it's the Dodgers. The Dodgers. That's a ridiculous one right there. You know, they have plenty of guys in the farm system. Their farm system is still top 3. They can move Corey Seager to third base pretty easily and just slide Lindor right in there, no problem. I think they could do a Gavin Lux. Plus, they have a catcher that's coming up in the farm system that's really good apparently, and maybe you throw in a Gonsolin in there and just put him in there and no problem.
Yeah, you can even do this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like him and everything, but sign James McCann, and then you trade Will Smith and Lux for Lindor. And then you're looking at, I mean, Seager, Lindor, I mean, Max Muncy, James McCann, who's a really good offensive hitting catcher.
No, that would not be fun. Yeah, but Lindor, I think Lindor would be ridiculous.
The funny part is the Dodgers are so stacked. Say they part ways with Will Smith. They could honestly probably find a way to get that deal done with keeping Gavin Lux and moving and keeping him at second, and then going to Muncy, Lux, Lindor, Seager.
Yeah, basically.
And then obviously they'd say bye to Turner in the offseason. But as much as I love Turner, at 36 years old, you're doing just fine if you're replacing Turner with a young Seager.
And DH is there, potentially too. So Andrew.
Who DH for most this year?
You got some AJ Pollock in there. You got some Kike.
That's true.
Some Jock.
Yeah, I'd rather Turner.
Yeah. But again, Andrew,
that's just unfair.
Let's never forget, Andrew, that the Los Angeles Dodgers traded for Mookie Betts and gave us some trash, and Alex Verdugo didn't even have to put in Dustin May, Gonsolin, or Lux before this season. So. Again, I simply cannot. The Dodgers are going to trade for Lindor, and it's going to be ridiculous. It is going to be absolutely ridiculous, and I can't wait. It's going to be hilarious. So, any other trade targets come off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I'd say probably not.
And we can get into it further next round.
Yeah, I'll have to do some research on trade targets. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of any. I'm trying to think of a starting pitcher that could be on the market. But those names will fly when we do the free agency pitchers.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. It'll be fun. Andrew, what a packed show. We have to get out of here. We've been here a while now.
Yeah, we have.
But it's been a packed show, and to end the show, Andrew, I have something to tell you about. Something interesting to tell you about, Andrew. You ready?
I'm always ready.
Andrew, have you ever just, wanted to bet on some sports, Andrew?
Absolutely.
Just throw some action on the game, perhaps make this more interesting, make it more exciting. You know where you could do that, Andrew?
Please enlighten me, please.
MyBookie.ag, Andrew. That's not .com. That is .ag. MyBookie.ag. Go there. Get yourself started. Put $100 in there, Andrew. And guess what, Andrew? If you use promo code PubSports and you deposit $100, you get $50 free, Andrew. $50 free to bet with, Andrew.
I don't know how you pass that up.
All you have to do is hit promo code PubSports. Go to mybookie.ag today, please. Go bet on some sports. It'll be a great time. And Andrew, also, we're going to talk about another little sponsor here. we're not going to talk about them that long because, they pay for our airtime and they have not paid for the sponsorship. But I think we need to mention Wolf Spread, Andrew. Download the Wolf Spread app. Go to the Pub Sports Radio social media feed. Go accept the invite to join our competition. It's a lot of fun. You get to bet on sports with a fake bankroll. It's a great time. You can join the Pub Sports Radio Betting Royale. It's right here. I've got it on my phone. It's great. It's a great looking app. Go do that. And I can't wait. I hope to see you guys there. Andrew, you're in there. I hope
Very easy to do. Very fun.
Andrew, where can people find you at?
You can find me at AJ_Santangelo on Twitter or at Philly_sports now, at True Philadelphia Sportscast, and at ANYP Phillies are my other podcasts I do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew. We'll be back on Tuesday, most likely. It'll be a great time. We'll talk about free agency pitchers, talk about some awards that are announced. Maybe we'll get some clarity on the baseball season. Who knows? Thanks, everyone, for listening.